The Sudanese Airways passenger plane touched down on the newly resurfaced runway of Khartoum International Airport on Sunday. 160 passengers from Port Sudan were on board. They were a mix of government employees and students, and once the cabin doors opened, celebrations echoed all the way into the airport.
Today, we are back with our strength. We are back with the sacrifices of our heroes and our martyrs. People are happy and jubilant receiving us. Everyone is holding each other. It is a great thing. I know it didn't happen easily. It happened with very big sacrifices.
I now feel that I am in Sudan. Sudan has come back better than before, and it will be much better in the future.
After government forces regained control of Khartoum from the RSF last March, they slowly began rebuilding the capital, with the airport a top priority. The country's Ministry of Transport says the conflict caused an estimated $2.7 billion in losses to Sudan's aviation sector. Initial reports suggested 6 aircrafts at the Khartoum Airport were lost, but satellite analysis by the Sanad Verification Agency say around 50 planes were destroyed. The government has spent about $350 million on initial repairs, focusing on the runway and 2 terminals, which serve as a hub for all arrivals and departures.
We assure all citizens, airline companies and all stakeholders in Sudan's aviation that we are ready to carry out our operational duties at Khartoum Airport so that it carries out its role to serve the Sudanese travelers and our economy.
Currently, the airport can handle only 4 aircrafts at a time, a fraction of its pre-conflict capacity. Authorities say there are plans to eventually expand the current Khartoum-Port Sudan domestic route to regional and international flights as security stabilizes. For now, Port Sudan International Airport is the only hub for international flights, while several other domestic airports are operating on a limited basis. Khartoum Airport's reopening is a crucial step for a nation attempting to rebuild after years of devastating conflict with no end in sight. Caroline B., CGTN.
Let's now cross over to our correspondent Naba Muhyiddin, who is in Port Sudan. Naba, normal operations at the Khartoum International Airport appear set to make a huge comeback. What's the significance of that first commercial flight from Port Sudan since fighting broke out?
Thanks, Benina. Actually, it's really important, and there's a very big significance about the first flight being flying from Port Sudan to Khartoum, the first operational commercial flight that carried out civilians and also officials. It has both symbolic significance and also practical one. Symbolically, it means that life is returning to Khartoum, and life is now like the government is normalizing the life in Khartoum, and also it's a very good indicator that the security conditions are improving, because reopening of airports and key facilities like airports, that is a very big indicator that security conditions are improved, and also it's a strong message of recovery. Practically, it connects Sudan to humanitarian aid activities and also businesses and civilian and commercial travels, and civilians also can move easily now. It's yes, it's only one flight, but it does not end the crisis, but also it's a very strong message that this symbolic flight has an also practical significance, and life is reopening again in Khartoum.
So Naba, what safety guarantees have been put in place to ensure passengers are not at risk of being caught up in the fighting between Sudan's National Army and the RSF?
Actually, Benina, the Sudanese government or the Sudanese Army as well has not, they both have not revealed any security plans they put in order to protect the airports. So they have not talked about it, but people and analysts also believe that, of course, there is a lot of security efforts must be done before this step took place. Of course, there is also sources told us that a lot of anti-craft devices are spreading right now in the capital Khartoum, in the entrances and exits of the capital, and also surrounding the airport, because apparently the airport and all of the civilian infrastructure has been one of the targets by the fighting since it has started in April 2023. So there is a strong suggestions that anti-craft devices are spreading right now in the capital Khartoum and surrounding the airport, because it's a very strong message that life is reopening, but people need a lot of guarantees, and people need to be, of course, to build confidence in order to, of course, take such flights daily or frequently.
Naba, we do know that fighting in South Kordofan is intensifying. What's the latest on this?
Actually, since the Sudanese Army retook the main city of Ad-Dalanj in South Kordofan, fighting right now is de-escalating in Ad-Dalanj. It's one of the main cities in South Kordofan. It has been besieged for more than 1,000 days by the RSF since the Sudanese Army retook it a week ago. Fighting right now is calmer than before, but also there is some reports of fighting in the borders of Kadugli, the other main city in South Kordofan. It's because Kadugli is besieged by the RSF and also allying SPLM under the leadership of Al-Hilu. So yes, there is some reports of fighting in South Kordofan by the borders of Kadugli with Nuba Mountains, unconfirmed reports, but in Ad-Dalanj and in other villages surrounding Ad-Dalanj, the situation is calmer since the army retook it a week ago. Back to you, Benina.
Naba, thank you very much for that.